Yeah, so I haven't spoken to someone who's affiliated with Rev and know him well, Preemptive and all of these people, in which they had stated that the real target of the killing was this man, Cat. They say Cat is a robber and he just came from prison and that he had robbed the man at the bottom, Rev, before he went to prison. So he was the target of it. They're saying that Jerome Cunningham was at the wrong place at the wrong time. When I asked about Nankapal, that the man that survived, that was us crickets. Who decide who live and who dies? Ladies and gentlemen, murder is murder. One of the biggest difference between a civilized society and a lawless society is this: who decides who lives and who dies? That is the question every society must answer. In a nation governed by the rule of law, no individual has the authority to become judge, jury, and executioner. That responsibility belongs to the justice system, with all of its safeguards, investigations, and legal standards. When people begin deciding that another human being deserves to die because of an alleged betrayal, theft, unpaid debt, or violation of an unwritten code, they are abandoning the rule of law and replacing it with violence. Violence beget violence. That is not justice. That is vigilantism. That is murder. Murder is murder. Taking the life of someone without lawful justification. That is murder. There are two systems that often collide. One is the legal system. The other is the unwritten code that some criminal organization impose on themselves. Those two systems are not the same. The criminal code may say someone deserves punishment for violating its rules. Remember, criminals are people who break the law, but they want to create their own rules and their own laws, and you violate it, you must dead. The law says every person is entitled to due process. The criminal code rewards fear. Remember, fear is not respect. That is what they think. Criminals think that fear is respect. Because if fear was something that would have saved Jerome, he would have dead. Because people fear him, but them still kill him. The person that will pull the trigger and kill Jerome, they now are heroes in the criminal underworld because them kill a big fish in the criminal underworld. The legal system is meant to protect the rights of every person, even those accused of crimes. That distinction matters. And please, just type and tell us where you're watching this video from. If you're at Timbuktu in Africa, LA, if you're at Rikers Island, if you're at some prison in America, Jamaica, GP, district prison, or either Waterhouse, or Rockfort, Warwick Isle, or you know, Spanish Town. Just type and tell where you're watching this video from. Or if you're at Pembroke Pines or Parkland. The legal system is meant to protect the rights of every person, even those accused of crimes. If this is the first time visiting the Jamaica Young Police channel and you haven't subscribed as yet, please consider subscribing. If you are already a subscriber but you are not receiving your notifications, please unsubscribe, then subscribe again, and make sure your notifications are turned on. At the present moment, it's only 172 people that subscribe to the Jamaica Young Police channel are receiving notification. Let me repeat myself. 172 people. That's, you know, the threshold that YouTube had put on the channel from their surrogates from the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Surrogates. That's in YouTube. And it started from a guy by the name of Omar Ibanks, a convicted drug dealer and a deportee, after he had exposed Mark Gummerbeer Golden in the killing of the PMP councillor Tyson. That's from when the channel has been under attack. because he had revealed the names of the people who had played an integral role in the killing of this man. And it go right back to the opposition leader, the big belly white man from England. So they had killed Tyson to give Omar Ebanks the seat. So he had exposed the opposition leader in an alleged murder case. So to those of you who have stood with this channel over the years, thank you for your loyalty and support. Many of you have watched the challenges this channel has faced over the past 2.5 years. Through it, we have remained committed to our mission of sharing our perspectives, encouraging discussion, and standing by what we believe is the truth. History reminds us that evil and wickedness may appear to prosper for a season. There are times when deception seems to win, and those who celebrate wrongdoing believe they have the final word. But history also teaches that lies are temporary. Lies are temporary. Truth as a way of enduring, and integrity as a way of outlasting deception. No matter how difficult the journey may become, we will continue to pursue what we believe is right and truthful. Speak with conviction and encourage our audience to think critically, examine the evidence, and draw their own conclusions. Truth endures forever. Integrity endures forever. That is why we remain committed to this journey with you. They can't break us. Never. But as we say, the longest liver will see. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. The value of human life. Every human life has value. You may disagree with how someone live. You may believe someone committed crimes. You may believe someone wronged another person. But none of those beliefs automatically gives anyone the legal or moral authority to kill. The moment people accept the idea that private grievances justify homicide, everyone becomes vulnerable. Because once there's a disagreement and people believe that you're supposed to be killed, they will kill you and make justification for it. As I said before and I'll say again, in my community where I was born and raised, there are 3 reasons justified for homicide, for people to kill you. One, the first one you say you're a labor right, and because of that, you can be killed and that's it. 2, you're informer. 3, you're a police officer. That's how it is in my community where I was born and raised, in a PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization community. The moment people accept the idea that private grievances justify homicide, everyone becomes vulnerable. That is the reason why I'm totally against criminality. Today it is someone else. Tomorrow it could be an innocent bystander. Do you know how many innocent bystanders are killed in cities all over America by criminals because they have disagreement with their rival or someone mistaken for another person? history has shown repeatedly that cycles of retaliation really stop with one victim. Now that Jerome is dead, Cat is dead, you don't hear anything from Cat people them. You don't know, you understand? Don't hear anything from Gomiko, the man that the suspect as the man who betrayed Jerome. Don't hear anything from Nankopal, who is a close affiliate, a close friend of Rev. So you have criminal rules versus public law. One of the tragedies of organized crime is that it often creates its own internal rules. People may be told that violating those rules has consequences, but those internal rules have no legal authority. These are just rules in a criminal organization. Like, them say you're not a thief, but I'm a thief. Suppose, there are certain rules. It's law, that they are supposed to break. But people still violate them, and based on that, they decide who will live or who will die. But those internal rules have no legal authority. So it have nothing to do with the rule of law. They operate in them own realm, them own orbit. A criminal organization cannot create its own justice system that overrides the law. No private group has that power, but that is what criminals have been doing for centuries. When disputes are settled with bullets instead of courts, society pays the price. One thing with criminals, when they have a dispute, you're not getting a summon lawyer for going to court, all you get a bullet. That's how it is. You don't get summonses or no lawyer right here. You get bullet. That's how them deal with them justice. Families mourn. Communities live in fear. Children grow up surrounded by violence. Violence does not end violence. Some people think violence solves problems. No. History suggests otherwise. Retaliation often leads to retaliation. Like where I'm from, in our Jamaica, where I used to work in one of the hotbed, where most of the time the most wanted men are from the police division where I used to work, St. Andrew South. And sometimes when you check some when you investigate some conflict, it go back decades to the 70s. The man that killed a man a brother, and I saw the killing a go on, and it never stopped. None of the family decided, say, alright, we lose so many people already, let it stop. No, them want blood. That's it. And funeral this week, and then next week, them try and kill somebody in the next family, and it just continue. And sometimes other people don't get involved because them import people, and it just, the cycle of violence continue. From just one argument. And when you check it, sometimes close to 100 people die because of two people have disagreement. And people want revenge. And most of the time, no one is convicted for any murder because this family decides, no, we don't trust the system and them thing. We don't want nobody going we don't want a court and we go to court and people go to prison and the next thing then come out. We want them life. Them take fame life, we want fame one. So that's how it is, the retaliation. One killing becomes another. Some people think violence solves problems, and it don't. Education is paramount. You can have disagreement with someone and have to kill them. All you do, you just talk to them and you deal with them again. But some people, especially Jamaicans, them see that as a diss. The boy for dead. Just simple as that. People have disagreement. I know two men in a Jamaica. I know them good. One of them I was at training school with him. Named Paul. I have an ex-bridget named Life. Two of them are good friends. Them used to live like brother. I know the two of them want to kill one another because Paul brother we name Suki, all kind of thing. And man tell man word and no. The two man them in a friend want to kill each other. You know, just simply just called education. You have a disagreement, there's no reason for nobody dead for that. We're not friends, look how much things we go through, you understand? We go through all kind of things together. There are places where people dead and we survive and all kind of things. With our dance, man shoot up dance and people dead and all, yeah. Want to all of them things, you know, all of them things. Not because people say words are hurt and them things, but that's how a form of communication. You disagree to agree. Not because a man said this, then no. The last time you see 200 them things, they were up on a side together. No, 200 down a pass, whether they're on the face. Turn up. That no make sense at all. Like an idea, all the way I go dead. We can have disagreement, but still come to some form of compromise. Boy, you know, say an idiot thing, you look back on it and laugh. You understand? Entire neighborhood suffer. Family lose fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters and friends. Entire neighborhood suffer because disputes that might have been resolved through lawful means instead of spiraling into repeated violence. There's no lasting peace in that cycle. The innocent can be harmed. Another reason the rule of law matter is because violence does not stay neatly contained. Drive-by shootings, crossfire, and mistaken identity have all led to innocent people being injured or killed in many communities around the world. A single burst of gunfire can change dozens of lives. Emergency responders arrive. Depends on where you are. If you're in Jamaica and an emergency as somebody, I forgot carry you or the police. We don't reach that standard yet. Families receive devastating news. Children lose parents. Friends lose lifelong companions. Those consequences cannot be undone. Justice requires evidence. When investigators examine a homicide, they do not simply accept stories at face value. They gather physical evidence. They interview witnesses. They review surveillance footage. They analyze forensic evidence. They compare timelines. That process is essential because justice depends on facts that can be tested, not on assumptions or rumors. Accountability. If someone commits murder, accountability should come through the legal system. If someone has committed another crime, that should be addressed through the legal system. Allowing individuals or groups to decide punishment through violence undermines public safety for everyone. The rule of law exists precisely because human beings are fallible. That means that we're not perfect. We are not gods. People make mistakes. People act on rumors. People act out of anger. That is why societies establish courts rather than personal revenge. And it's a better standard. We should reject the idea that there are two standards of justice. One for ordinary citizens and another for those who believe violence is an acceptable way to settle disputes. There should be one standard. No one is above the law. No one has the right to take another person's life, except in a very limited circumstances recognized by law, such as lawful self-defense or other narrowly defined legal justification. Outside those situations, the deliberate unlawful taking of another remains homicide. It's murder. You know, so as we discuss cases like this, it is important to remember that investigations determine criminal responsibility through evidence, not speculation. Whatever disputes or allegation may have existed, they do not justify unlawful violence. If we truly want safer communities, then we must reject the idea that violence is an acceptable way to resolve conflict. The answer to crime is not more crime. The answer is accountability, impartial investigations, fair trials, and respect for the rule of law. That principle protects everyone, victims, witnesses, families, and society as a whole, when we uphold the rule of law over revenge. We affirm that every human life has value and that justice must be pursued through lawful means, not through unlawful killings. So we reject when a man come tell us, say, boy, oh, you know, a cat did for dead in a car, a cat rob Rev. No, we know that. But I also want to make something absolutely clear from the very beginning. The Los Angeles Police Department has not publicly identified a motive, has not announced any arrests, and has not identified any suspects by name as yet. What I am about to discuss includes information that was shared with me by a person who claimed to be close to people associated with Rev. People who know Rev, Preemptive and all of them people, and you understand what I'm saying? Kenny Yatta and Nanko Paul. And Nanko Paul are the part of the puzzle. Nanko Paul now is a witness. Criminal. I cannot independently verify those claims, so they should be treated as allegations from a source not to establish fact. This is not from Los Angeles Police Department. But according to that source, Clayton Cat Manning, not Jerome Cunningham, was allegedly the intended target, and Jerome Cunningham was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. If that allegation were ever proven true, it would not change one important reality. Jerome Cunningham still lost his life. His family still buried a loved one. Another family is going to bury Clayton Manning, that a cat, bad Indian. That's who we get the video from Jerome birthday party. He's the one that videoed it, bad Indian. Another man survived with gunshot wounds. That's an Uncle Paul. Strange. Two families are grieving today. This is why I always tell you that rumors are not evidence, and evidence not speculation. It is what solves homicide cases. But you know, you have the underworld where people talk and you're going to get information from one and two sources and various methods. So today we are going to examine what the LAPD has actually confirmed. What remain unknown, why anonymous source information must be treated carefully, and why, regardless of who may have been the intended target, the law treats the unlawful killing of every victim with equal seriousness. Whether or not you want to believe it, LAPD don't care what kind of beef them have, but they will catch. We are betting money upon LAPD. By the end of August, they will catch these killers. Because you have a thing we call triangulation. They have all kind of way. They will use digital footprint and catch them. Whenever a major homicide occurs, there are two stories. The first one is the official investigation. The second is the street narrative. Sometimes they overlap. Sometimes they completely contradict each other. The public should know the difference. According to LAPD, investigators have publicly confirmed that on July 3rd, 2026, at approximately 7:45 p.m., a vehicle approached three men near 59th Street and Crenshaw Boulevard in Hyde Park, and gunfire erupted. Clayton Manning died on the scene. Jerome Cunningham later died from his injuries. A third man survived, Nanko Paul. We just have him alias. We soon get him correct name. Detectives believe two or more people were involved, but no arrests have been announced publicly. That is what has been confirmed. Everything beyond that must be evaluate it carefully. The difference between information and evidence. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that because someone knows some people, or because someone knows some police, everything they say automatically become true. And it's not. That is not how investigations work. Experienced detectives receive information from many different sources. Some investigation, you get some information turns out to be accurate. Some is completely false. They want to throw you off track. Some mix truth with rumor. Worse than time of killing. And you have people out there, informant, who, whether or not you want to believe it, people have them benefits, whether they might benefit from telling you information. People tell lie on people. You understand what I'm saying? But now with technology, that now gonna work that easily. Investigators compare statements with surveillance videos, phone records, forensic evidence, witness interviews, and other facts before drawing conclusions. That is why a single conversation, even with someone claiming inside knowledge, cannot by itself establish what happened. If one person was the intended target, supposedly purely for the sake of discussion, that one person, the victim, rather than another, was the intended target, the legal and moral reality does not change. So them said that cat was the intended target. Why them kill Jerome then? Them said them give cat over 41 shot. That's what them say, you know. The police, they don't release how many shots cat get or Jerome. Who know what shot Nanko Paul get, and who knows that Nanko Paul shot them. Nanko Paul could have, they never go to hospital or anything like that. But Nanko Paul in their country legal. So, you know, so Nanko Paul is a film chance now. Forget some people as kind of witness in our country and then get shot. Same second time I get shot. But guess what? Him still gonna commit crime, see me, because them no believe in our working. They tell you that I just saw it go. PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization mindset. Where them come from Jamaica and them believe say, oh, me nah work for a white man. Me come here for go make a food and me I go back on my yard and continue criminal lifestyle. Have money and then go back and then start to oppress them own people until somebody turn upon them and kill them. Because very real, them go back, them make money and go back and start live peaceful. No. They want people to fear them, not respect them. The law does not excuse in the killing of one person. Simply because someone else was allegedly the intended target. Every family suffers. Every victim matters. Every homicide deserves justice. So why motives matter? Investigators try to answer two questions. Who committed the crime? Why was the crime committed? Sometimes motives is robbery. Sometimes it's retaliation. Sometimes it's personal conflict. Sometimes mistaken identity. Sometimes the motive remains unknown. Until investigators gather enough evidence, the motive remains a working theory, not a proven conclusion. Sometimes them commit a murder and make it like a robbery, but that is also throw you off as an investigator. So you have to dig deep. The importance of restraint. Cases like this often generate intense speculation. Names circulate, stories spread. People repeat things they heard from friends, relatives, or social media. Responsible commentary means acknowledging those conversations while making clear that they are not substitutes for evidence. That protects the integrity of the discussion and respects the fact that the investigation is still ongoing. Why witnesses matter? Investigators have appealed for witnesses and surveillance footage because those pieces of evidence can be decisive. A single camera, a license plate, a timeline, a witness who initially thought what they saw was unimportant. Those details often become the key to solving a homicide. This is why police frequently ask anyone with information to come forward. So justice for every victim. The death of Clayton, Cat Manning, Bad Indian, and Jerome Cunningham left families grieving and another person injured. At an Nankopal, or ironic, Nankopal like Hunger one to survive, the only man who connected to Rev. Whatever the eventual findings of the investigation, the central issue remains the same. 2 people were killed, a third survived. Those responsible has not yet been publicly identified. Justice depends on evidence, witnesses, and investigative process, not on rumors alone. So as someone with law enforcement background, as a old detective, I have always believed that intelligence can point investigators in a direction, but intelligence alone is not proof. Intelligence and not evidence. Proof comes from evidence that can be tested, challenged, and presented in court. Whether the motive was retaliation, mistaken identity, or something entirely different, those answers must come from the investigation. Until then, it is important to distinguish clearly between confirmed facts and verified claims and personal opinion. If you have any information that could genuinely assist the investigation, the appropriate course is to provide it to LAPD or anonymously through Crime Stoppers, where it can be evaluated alongside other evidence. We know that Jamaicans love money, and the best way to get people to give information is to offer them a reward. So as we said before, and we say again, when a man is going to say that Jerome was at the wrong place at the wrong time and it was Cat that they wanted to kill. If they did not want to kill Jerome, they could have just killed Cat alone. That is not justifiable though. But you understand what I'm saying? But when a man live a life of crime, that's the end result. Jerome in California could apply for a concealed permit there too. But you know, maybe them not like the government because them a criminal. Because once you have that, the government know that you're a part of the system, but he's a part of the system, so Cat from New York, and everybody knows a Cat a robber. And them say that's the reason why I cause him rob Rev. And them say Jerome at the wrong place at the wrong time. But there's no excuse under the law for that. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.